Agency is the first brick of an inner citadel. When that brick cracks, everything feels personal and final. Even if what actually happened is just a set of events you can map and respond to. Picture a kitchen table at 2 in the morning. A laptop is open to an account balance that makes your stomach drop. The phone is face down because you cannot take one more message. Your mind starts offering dramatic summaries. I am finished. I cannot come back from this. That story is the real fire. Adversity is not proof your life is collapsing. It is a furnace. When the ground disappears, you do not need reassurance. You need a system that converts pain into strength. This is that system. 7 Stoic tools used by emperors, prisoners of war, and anyone who had to rebuild from zero. You will use them to rebuild resilience after a financial hit, career collapse, or personal loss. So, you restore agency fast. Make clean decisions, and stay stable without external stability. Say this out loud. Right now, my job is not to feel good. It is to see clearly. Seeing clearly is the first move when everything feels like it is burning down. A system beats mood, especially when your brain is improvising under threat. A crisis feels personal, but most of it is structural. Inputs changed. Your routines broke. And now, your mind is trying to protect you with panic stories and fast decisions. That is normal. And it is awkward to admit. Stoicism is not about acting tough or going numb. It is about building a better operating system so you stop bleeding energy and start choosing like an engineer with a checklist. Your inner citadel is the part of you that stays functional when outcomes, opinions, and plans collapse. Not fake positive. Functional. Each tool gives you one script, one tiny rule, and one way to track progress. We start with a simple split: what is yours and what is not. Tool number 1, the dichotomy of control. Agency ratio reset starts with one clean split. What is yours today and what is not? Picture a small office or a kitchen table with paperwork spread out. Your chest is tight. Your phone is buzzing. And your mind is doing math. You did not ask it to do. I am ruined. I lost the job. The market is broken. Then someone across from you asks a boring question that lands like a hammer. What is yours today? You pause because it feels almost insulting in the moment. Then you answer, quietly, my choices, my next call, my effort. That is the move. Crisis steals agency by mixing controllables with uncontrollables until everything feels equally heavy. Separate them and you get power back fast. Not because life is easy, but because your attention stops leaking. Say this out loud. If it is not mine to control, it is not mine to carry. Then take a page and make 2 lists. List A is mine. Opinions, effort, behavior, preparation, the call I make, the apology I owe, the budget I follow. List B is not mine. Outcomes, the past, other people's opinions, the timeline, the market. Now track it. At the end of the day, count how many actions you took from list A. Divide that by your total actions. Your goal is above 70%. If it is lower, do not shame yourself. Just move one action from list B to list A by changing it into a choice you can make tomorrow. Once you reclaim agency, you need to stop feeding panic with dramatic language. Tool number 2, objective representation. Neutral facts only. That is the rule that keeps your mind from turning pain into prophecy. You catch yourself saying it. My life is a disaster. It feels true because it is loud. Then you do the awkward part. You rewrite it like a court reporter who does not care about your feelings. My relationship ended. I am sleeping poorly. I am behind on 2 bills. Same reality. Different nervous system. Your brain does not react to events in a vacuum. It reacts to the story you wrap around them. When the story is loaded with destiny, words, your body treats it like an emergency that never ends. Neutral language cuts that fear in half, and it gives you room to move. Here is the move. Describe what happened with no adjectives and no future claims. No ruined. No doomed. No always. No never. Say this out loud. The facts are this. The meaning is optional. If you feel silly doing it, good. That is usually the sign you are stepping out of dramatization and into reality. Now, track it. Keep a red flag words log for 7 days. Every time you hear yourself use words like ruined, doomed, always, never, tally it. The goal is a 30% drop, not perfection. Now that the story is clean, we immunize you against surprise. Tool number 3, negative visualization. Pre-med plan page. That is how you stop the unknown from eating your attention all day. This usually shows up as a quiet loop. What if it all collapses again? You are standing at the sink. You are driving. You are trying to answer an email, and your mind keeps running the same horror trailer. The problem is not that you are imagining bad outcomes. The problem is you are imagining them without structure, which keeps your body braced like the impact is seconds away. The shock is what breaks people. Premeditation reduces shock by turning unknown terror into a known scenario with a response. Do it like a controlled drill. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Write the realistic worst case in plain language. Revenue drops 30%. A client leaves. A health bill hits. Then write a 1-page response plan. If revenue drops 30%, I cut subscriptions, pause hiring, renegotiate rent, and protect cash for payroll. Finally, write what remains intact. Skills you still have. People who will still pick up the phone. Values that do not depend on the market. It can feel dark the first time. That is normal. You are taking fear out of the shadows and putting it on paper. Track it with a surprise index. Rate your anxiety from 0 to 10 before and after. You want a drop of 2 points per session. Visualization prevents panic. But you still need a dual mindset, hope without delusion. Tool number 4, the Stockdale Paradox. Hope meets numbers. That is the balance that keeps you from swinging between delusion and despair. You can hear the first voice trying to protect you. I am fine. It will magically work out. It is soothing for about 10 minutes, until reality shows up with a receipt. Savings ends in 6 weeks. Then the second voice appears, and it is just as dangerous. This is hopeless. I should give up. Stockdale is the third voice. I will win long term. Today I face the numbers. Optimism without realism creates repeated heartbreak. You keep promising yourself a rescue that never arrives. And each missed rescue feels like another collapse. Realism without hope creates surrender. You stare at the facts and decide they are a verdict. Stockdale is the bridge, because it lets you hold two truths at the same time without flinching. Use this script. I am committed to the outcome, and I am loyal to the facts. Then do a brutal facts audit for 15 minutes. Not a marathon. Cash on hand. Expenses. Health habits. Who you can call. What you owe. What you can stop doing today. Keep it plain and specific. Now prove you did it. Use a 2-column proof every night. 1 line for hope. I will rebuild my career. 1 line for a fact you face today. I called the bank and got the real number. Fill both daily so your mind cannot hide in fantasy or drown in doom. Once you face facts, build confidence by practicing discomfort on purpose. Tool number 5, voluntary discomfort. 1 hard rep. That is how you rebuild confidence when your identity feels shaky. After a loss, comfort becomes a crutch and a threat at the same time. You can feel the fear behind it. I cannot handle less comfort. I will break. That fear makes sense because your brain is trying to avoid any extra stress. The problem is it turns you fragile. So you practice stress on purpose in small doses. You take a cold shower, or at least a cold rinse at the end. You eat a simple meal instead of chasing a hit of relief. You walk past the store without buying anything just to prove you can. Then you notice the result. I did not break. My body was loud for a minute. And then it settled. Voluntary discomfort teaches your brain 1 sentence it desperately needs in a crisis. I can survive discomfort without panic. That is resilience. Not hype. Not anger. Just proof. Use 1 tiny rule. Do 1 hard thing daily. Pick 1. Cold rinse. No snack window. Minimalist day with no extra spending. A walk without headphones so you can hear your own thoughts without running from them. Say this before you start. Discomfort is training, not danger. Track it like reps in the gym. 1 rep per day. Keep a streak. And write 2 short lines. What I feared. What happened? The more honest the fear line is, the more useful the data becomes. Now we turn the crisis itself into fuel without pretending it is good. Tool number 6. Turn obstacles into assignments. Obstacle becomes assignment. That is the switch that keeps suffering from turning into wasted time. You hear the sentence that locks people in place. This should not have happened. It shows up after a breakup, a betrayal, a diagnosis, a financial hit. It sounds reasonable, but it quietly demands a different universe. And when reality refuses, you stay stuck arguing with the past. The Stoic move is not pretending it is fine. It is asking a better question. What virtue does this demand right now? Not later. Not when you feel better. Right now. The answer is usually unglamorous. Courage to start over when your pride wants to hide. Temperance with spending when your stress wants relief purchases. Justice in how you speak about others when your anger wants a villain. That is amor fati in modern terms. Not denial. Refusing to waste pain. You convert the obstacle into training objectives. Use this prompt when you feel the heat rise in your chest. What is this asking me to practice? Then choose one virtue behavior for the next 24 hours. 1. Make it visible. If it is temperance, it might be no impulse spending today. If it is justice, it might be no trash talking, even in private texts. If it is courage, it might be one difficult call you have been avoiding. Track it with a virtue receipt at night. Today the crisis trained my blank because I blank. Fuel is useless without review. The final tool makes the rebuild compound. Tool number 7, evening reflection. Citadel score 0 to 7 is how you keep a crisis from becoming your personality. The day can be messy without making you a mess. It is the end of the day. You are brushing your teeth or sitting on the edge of the bed, and the default summary shows up. Today was a mess. That sentence feels honest, but it is also lazy. It turns a whole day into a label, and labels stick. A short review turns labels into data. Without reflection, crisis becomes identity. With reflection, crisis becomes data. Data means you can adjust instead of spiral. Keep it simple and a little mechanical. Ask 3 questions. What did I do well today? Where did I betray my standards? What is one adjustment tomorrow? The first question is not for ego. It is proof that you still have agency. The second question is uncomfortable on purpose, but it is specific, not shame. The third question is where momentum lives, because it forces a small upgrade instead of a dramatic promise. Say this to yourself while you write. I do not need perfection. I need iteration. If you feel resistance, like you do not deserve credit, or you do not want to look at the slip-ups, that is exactly when this works best. Track it with the inner Citadel score from 0 to 7. 1 point for each tool you practice today. Watch the trend line, not your mood. Now, one common objection stops people from using these tools. Let us kill it cleanly. Stoicism gets mislabeled as emotional suppression, like you are supposed to go cold and pretend nothing hurts. That is not what this is. Stoicism is emotional accuracy plus disciplined response. Suppression is acting like you do not feel. Stoicism is admitting you feel, then refusing to let that feeling grab the steering wheel. You can see it in what we just covered. Objective representation names reality without drama. Stockdale forces you to face the numbers. Evening reflection makes you audit your mistakes without turning them into shame. None of that is numbness. It is responsibility. If you have been using positive thinking to avoid the truth, these tools will feel sharp at first. That sharpness is clarity. Agency ratio is where the rebuild becomes real. Picture a phone screen glowing in a dark car, a bank balance open, or an email that says, position eliminated. The reflex is why me. The pivot is what is mine right now. Open notes and write 2 columns. Mine and not mine. Then take one action from the mine column. End the day by circling your agency ratio as your first measurable win for tomorrow morning. The 7-day protocol is where this stops being inspirational and starts being measurable. Keep it small so you actually do it, even on a bad day. For 7 days. Run the Crisis Architect Protocol daily. Spend 10 to 15 minutes on 4 moves. First, write the A and B list. What is yours and what is not? Second, do one neutral rewrite of a stressful thought in plain facts. Third, do one hard rep. One small discomfort you choose on purpose. Fourth, do the evening 3-question review. Twice this week. Add one 15-minute negative visualization with a 1-page response plan. Daily. Take 2 minutes for the Stockdale proof. 1 hope statement and 1 fact you faced. Daily. Take 1 minute for the amor fati question and pick a virtue to practice. Track 3 numbers. Inner Citadel, score 0 to 7. Agency ratio. And surprise index, change. The goal is trend up, not perfect. Run the system, not your mood. If you are in a crisis, do not wait to feel motivated. Use the checklist and let action pull your head back above water. Drop a comment that says, "I am rebuilding," and tell me which tool you are starting with today. Control. Facts. Premed. Stockdale. Discomfort. Amour. Reflection. Picking one is how you stop spinning. If you want more Stoic tools you can actually use. Subscribe. Scripts. Checklists. Tracking. And clean boundaries. Not philosophy theatre. Next, we tackle the social side of collapse. How to build boundaries that protect your inner citadel when other people add chaos.